Yeah, we're here. We have arrived.
Loading because my computer's a pile of fucking Mac shit.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the next exciting episode of the Journeyman Questers.
Journeyman
Don't forget to boil up your pots and take a seat by your hearths, because it's going to be a real ride today.
Sure is.
Check out my new fucking t-shirt.
Oh.
Mm.
I mean, we all need those now, Josh, just so you know.
Yeah.
I know, I said that. I was like, we're going to have to
Look,
make like
it
6 of them.
matches. It's the fucking kettle. It's our kettle.
Does it come in black?
Boil up thine
If you wish
pot.
it.
Oh, look at
We
that.
have paraphernalia.
On the stream, it's literally right above the actual logo.
You mean merchandise instead of paraphernalia?
No, paraphernalia.
We should definitely make this
Melly,
into
get hat.
some
A
We should
Ephemera.
definitely make some paraphernalia.
So,
Is there music playing?
there is.
Oh.
There?
I can't hear it.
Well, then
Wait, I know it's
your
me.
own fault. So, Rupert, what kind of music would you like? Rupert's doing a catch up today.
Nice.
I would say on the brink of mystery.
On the brink of mystery. We gotta do the wild.
Something
That's very.
something maybe tepid. That's
Yeah.
good. That's fine.
Okay, so welcome back. I know we're playing on a Tuesday instead. We've swapped around today's episode, so it's a normal episode today. And on Thursday, we're going to be doing the kind of chat. Isn't that right, Theo?
Round table.
The round table.
Yep.
What's happened to Mike?
He's there.
Who knows?
He's probably
So-
naked.
We have a catch up from none other than Zook today. Take it away, Zook.
Hello.
Zoc.
Dylan and Dutch have a funny home. Its vast populace are so varied and colourful, like the parakeets that roost near Barkholm. It's no surprise that Elderwick, Dylan's flamboyant father, set up his life here. The secrets that lay beneath the doors of Elderwick's vault were as flamboyant as his manner. We convened to try to infiltrate the vault, and the sons of the great Grey Wanderer stood in agreement that they should take what was rightfully theirs before death took their shared father. A relic of Dutch's family lay within. A blade that belonged to the great horned gentleman named Tem also resided within the vault. And above all, many coins were supposedly stowed deep in its belly. This drew the attention of the Parrot Gang's leader, who sent Sequarius, a talented young singer and musician, to help us gouge the fruit within the vault. We began by solving a number of riddles that the door set us, its surface becoming a great wrinkled face. Upon answering these riddles and challenges, we delved inside. The room below rose to meet us as we floated down to a chamber containing many instruments. These, we realized, had to be played in quick succession to open the next door. Many sweet notes were found on several of these, but one was awkwardly struck by Sequarius, unleashing a wave of undead beasts to claw at our flesh. We dispatched them after a long struggle and managed to play the remaining instruments, opening yet another chamber where a sea of gold lay. As we approached, we found many treasures, a mass of coins and several valuable magical conduits, the likes of which could allow us to cast spells of great power. As Dylan rooted through the gold, however, it erupted in a sea of flashing light as a monster made of swirling coinage battered us. A battle ensued, and many of us were near to our end before Richter descended like a diving harpy eagle and locked the beast in eldritch chains, before Dutch pummeled its gold face into molten goo. Exhausted, we found our way back with a heap of gold, split in half and shared with the parrots. Dutch found a glorious garment teeming with feathers. This garb was worn by his forebears from a tribe far away. He looked magnificent, like Lord Tiki swooping across open sky before a morning sun. His grin suggested he knew this too. Upon arrival in Elderwick's house, we decided to return to the Adriant for the banquet that Ruthus had been invited to. He, Tem, Richter, and I flew off as wisps of cloud as Dylan and Dutch returned in the same manner to our quarters. The evening holds its breath. Let us see what it blows our way.
Very nice. So, as a quick reminder of how the last session ended, you just finished up at the Elderwick Vault in the Elderwick Mansion, counted your coin, given half to Sequarius, and using Windwalk, you'd shot off across the city back to the Andriont. Dylan and Dutch heading back towards the lodgings near the Cinnamon Inn. And the rest, Tem, Ruthus, Zook, and Richter, all headed towards, well, you weren't really sure exactly where, but perhaps towards the kind of palace grounds of the Andriont, to the meal in which you knew that Celeste, as well as some other higher-ups, were to be attending, where talks potentially could happen, and you could potentially do some schmoozing, get some deals for back in the western parts, the western provinces of the Empire, and the Soulreach and the Glinting province beyond. However, upon returning to the lodgings, Dylan and Dutch saw that their door to the lounge was slightly ajar, only slightly. Dim light flickering within, they pushed open the door slowly to reveal a single candle on the middle sort of coffee table. The candle had burnt very low in its wick, a small pool of wax glistening through some of the kind of starlight coming through the curtainless window. And on the floor, beside the various pillows and chaise longue, lay a figure, a robed figure. Blood pooling, just like the wax of the candle, around them, sticky and glistening. Dutch, you crept over toward what you could see was a piece of parchment lit from the dim light of the candle, a quill, and what looked to be an ink pot left to the side. As you picked up this parchment, you saw that it was written not in ink but potentially in a dark red liquid. And it read, Mr. Grey. I'm not going to do a voice because you don't know, but I'm just doing it. This is what you read. Mr. Grey.
If you're not going to do any voice, can you do the boss from IT Crowd?
No.
Oh.
Dear Mr. Grey, I do hope this letter finds you in time. It has come to my attention that you are back in town, and I was hoping to catch up. I have the delightful company of your sweet maiden. She is quite exquisite, is she not? The way the hearthlight dances across her shimmering skin. Alas, I'm sure your time is short. So to business. I require the Cubic Gate, located at the estate of the Guild of the Midnight Mercers. You have 5 days. And then it's just signed Eldama.
By my maiden, I take it she means...
It says at the bottom, P.S.
Okay.
P.S. You may want to clean up this little mess. And as you looked down, you saw that the figure lying on the ground was not your humble manservant, but was in fact the Cardinal of the Lunar Gate herself. always lose my place of her name. Finenia Quell. However, in fact, because both of you are here, we can start with what both of you are doing.
Brother, might want to.
You're muted, Theo.
Who is Eldama?
Yeah, I guess you wouldn't remember. She's one of the gang's leaders. She's
Of the Dark Rats?
No. Her name's actually Marinita, but everyone calls her Eldama. She wants to. Yeah, they're one of the higher up families. They deal more in grander affair of crime.
Why would they? What trouble had you gotten yourself into before you left the city to warrant such a thing like this to happen? This is bad, Dutch.
Dylan would remember that I came into some money before we left. And I did that by robbing Eldama. Her son caught me in the act, drew a blade on me. So I fought back. I didn't try and kill him. I disarmed him and tried to throw him to the floor so I could run. But he tripped on the rug or on the hearth or something. And he fell into a fire. And
So she's after blood, no doubt.
She wants me to pay for what I did, yeah.
Surely she cannot just want gold. What do you intend to do? This
Body.
can't be as straightforward as fulfilling a task for her.
Oh. Well, I think that can wait. First things first, we have to deal with the body. And then we can talk about this with...
Is the door shut behind us?
Did you shut it behind you?
Yes.
Then it is shut.
Can I hear anyone outside?
Roll me a perception check.
A 22.
You can hear the sounds of people out on the street. It's about 8 o'clock, maybe just after, and there's people drinking. You're kind of above the large area where the Cinnamon Inn and lots of the other kind of parts of the ephemeral wing are, and there's lots of kind of noise. The only noise, an immediate noise that you can hear, seems to be a soft kind of like dripping noise, kind of like a pat kind of noise, coming from the latrines.
Okay.
Of the rooms, but other than that,
The room that we're in.
yes, like you've got the big lounge area and all your various little rooms where your bedrooms were lead off, as well as a latrine, as well as the sliding doors that led to Resquire Calcia's kind of chambers.
Okay, can I check in there quickly whilst we're having this conversation? And start trying to secure the area.
In Calcia's chambers or in the latrines?
In the latrine. Is there a door?
Yeah, there is. So it's slightly kind of tucked away, and it's on one side where you imagine it would flush down into the sewers. You step in, pushing open the kind of wooden door, and you see Resquire Calcia propped up, his breeches sort of down by his ankles. He's kind of leaning back asleep like this, and there's just kind of dark liquid slowly dripping. It's mainly kind of sticky now in his kind of jerkin, but you can see a fresh, or at least sense at least no heartbeat coming from him with your blind sight.
This is worse than we thought, Dutch. Another body, Resquire.
This is going to cost some money to get rid of.
We're gonna have to act quickly.
Yeah. So
Sorry,
Well,
Aeon is
you-
calling at me. Aeon is shouting at me. But
Okay.
you're gonna... Yeah, sorry.
Okay, in that case, we will cut
Yeah.
and we'll head over to the others. Turn that music off. Let's do this. So,
Jovial.
Do we look like fucked up?
yeah, probably.
Wait, who are we? It's me and Zook and Richter.
You're currently mist forms, flying through the air, following Zook. Zook, where are you headed?
Back to the Adriant. Yeah, I was just gonna kind of land and then maybe turn back in somewhere subtle, maybe on a rooftop, and then ask Ruthus if he knew where we were gonna go. That was my plan.
You could land on a rooftop. However, in the Andriont, it's quite like heavily watched, and you imagine people being seen on the rooftop probably isn't such a great idea.
Yeah, maybe an alleyway or a quiet street.
There's less like dense housing. It's all kind of open courtyards, big open spaces. You could land. You gather you'll probably be seen if you're coming down from the sky.
In which case, probably just go right smack bang in the middle of a nice big road, so we're not trying to sneak around.
Landing down in maybe a central kind of courtyard area, perhaps the courtyard where the big statues are.
Mm-hmm.
You all land, and you notice that Tem has peeled off. You kind of look up and you can faintly see another wisp heading off further out of town.
Tim away.
Concentrating for a minute, reverting back to your physical forms. A couple of guards begin to approach. You can see they're the kind of elite Adriant guards with their halberds and their full plate. They have these sort of quite elaborate styled helms that have like a crescent half moon on the top, like this, almost like two slight horns on the top of it. Picture kind of almost Lumineth style. They begin approaching. You can see there's like three kind of marching towards you.
I maybe float up to them and just say, "Oh, I'm very sorry about our unorthodox entry with Gypsies of Fortune. You may have heard of us. Apologies for that. It's just how we get around. Please, we mean no harm. We're just returning to our quarters."
Roll me a persuasion check. I say with advantage.
A natural 20.
Nice.
The guard at the front sort of looks towards you. Of course, yes. I have heard things about you all. Well,
These are not the droids you're looking for.
very well.
Before you go, apologies. We were invited to a banquet this evening, and we've misplaced our invitation, upon which was the location of the banquet. Do you know of anything happening? The Lady Celeste was supposed to be attending.
Whom would be attending this banquet?
Well, myself, Lord Ruthus, Suncrest, and...
But I mean, whom should you be meeting? There are many banquets that happen here in the Andriont. Could direct
I
you
turned
if
to
I know.
I turned to Ruthus.
I don't remember meta-wise. Would I know?
Celeste, I think, only said with some of the cardinals. That's all she mentioned.
Okay. Yeah, I relay that to them. as guests of the Empire, we were to meet with the other cardinals of the gates, as well as Celeste.
Quite right. In which case, I will personally escort you.
Oh, very good.
Very good. But before we go, Richter, do you mind looking towards Richter? We need to smarten ourselves up a little bit.
Yeah, he sort of looks towards you, and you look fucked up. In fact, you should be.
Meta-wise, can he prestidigitation us?
Yeah.
Richter has that, right? Does he?
You always use.
He always uses it to clean things up. He's always like, Presti.
Yeah,
clean.
as soon as a book breaks, Presti, like, do you know what I mean? He spams.
He's always Prestiing the blood out of our clothes and shit like that.
Yeah, look, that's the noise he makes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Of course. Well, I couldn't remember whether it was Kofin or not.
No, man.
Kofin had mending, I think.
Yeah, maybe it was that.
Yeah.
You look pretty beat up. Does Rufus know what health he gained previously? I think it was 26, because I remember Sequarius healing 226 as well.
Ooh.
So
You
Rufus
mean
is
from
only from your mass cure wounds.
Yeah, I think it was 26.
Yeah, I mean, I wrote down 26 for Sequarius' health, so it must be the same. So, Rufus, you're on 26. So, yeah, you look pretty beat. Zook, what health are you on?
I'm on 39.
Yeah, so you look pretty fucking beat up too. Richter looks totally fine. He cleans you up as best he can. But you are wearing your armor, you know, there's blood in it. You don't necessarily look the best.
Do you think we need to get changed?
Perhaps you're right. If we do want to make a good impression, then we best look our best. Perhaps return to the Cinnamon Inn briefly.
So you would know that you're already an hour late, just so you're aware. It started at 7, and it's already a bit past 8.
Hey, listen, our natural charm has never come from us looking particularly good. It's because of the things we do. And Richter's silver tongue. He's got away with it. And he looks fine. So if we need, we can always have him represent us.
But if the mayor wants to clean himself up, I mean, sorry, not mayor. If Lord Rufus wants to clean himself up, then he should have the opportunity.
No. We I didn't realize we were so late already. We best get there as soon as we can. Our honey words will do the talking for us.
Okay, so you begin following the guard. He kind of takes you through to kind of towards where the Grand Temple of Saloon is. So towards that side of the Andrion where it connects with Saloon's ward, and you can see a beautiful building, similar in kind of decor to the Mirial in Ingmiri. It's that same twisting kind of almost smooth, rounded, water-like architecture to the kind of smooth marble white stone. Very elven, very elaborate. He leads you towards this building. It's got this kind of like grand kind of arches with those pillars, almost kind of Roman or Greek style pillars that kind of hold up the entire front section. As you approach, you see he moves forwards, talking with one of the guards there, that fetches a very well dressed servant, similar kind of clothes to Calcia, Resquire Calcia. The guard turns and says, "The Resquire here will see you in. He has informed me that you are unexpected and quite late. Good day." And the guard begins to move off.
Thank you kindly. Before we go in, I'm just going to turn to Richter and Ruthus and just say, we are pretty beat up, and I don't know if we're going to be received particularly well. We might need all the help we can get. I'm just going to pop my hands on them, on the back of their heads, and kind of do a fan as I cast Enhance Ability, doing Eagle Splendor again on all three of us, casting it at 4th level.
Whoa! So you can split it and put it on more than one person.
So it's on all three of us for now. We all have advantage on charisma checks.
Amazing.
Ooh, very nice.
The rescuer comes forward. You can see it's this elven woman wearing a similar kind of dark doublet. She steps forwards. I can hear myself through your mic, I think. You need to wear headphones, Mike. He's not even listening.
No.
I can hear myself through your speakers coming out.
Might have been because I had my laptop up really loud because of the fan, which I've now turned off.
Meanwhile, we cut back to the lodge. The lodgings.
I don't know how we can contact the others. We could do with some of Zook's abilities here, but I'm not sure we can rely on him in this matter. We're going to have to deal with this ourselves.
Yeah, so...
how are we going to dispose of these bodies? Do we have I hate to say it, but do we have the bag of holding on us? Of withholding, sorry?
Yes, we do.
This is going to be quite messy.
We'll put down some sheets and then we'll throw the sheets in the fire when we're done.
I suggest we take them into the latrine instead. At least we can wash that down with water.
Oh yeah, but we've still got to drag the bodies in there.
We can use one of the sheets to wrap the corpse in.
Yeah.
And take it there, and then hopefully that will restrict the amount of blood that flows around the room.
Yeah.
Well, let's act quickly then.
So, plan is to begin.
So, the Cardinal's body will wrap in what sheets we have available to try and keep the blood.
Well, there's loads of bed sheets, isn't there? About.
Yep. There's a lot of linens.
So we'll take those and to take the body into the latrine.
I take it it's tiled in there and not like some fucking wooden shithole.
Yeah, it is tiled. It's fairly nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
So put it in the bath. Does the bath have a plug hole?
There's like a large sort of basin bath. Although the latrine that he's in is not the same room where the bath is. They're not in the same room.
They're not in the same room.
No.
I take it nothing's plumbed in, is it?
Well, we'll take one into the.
Yeah, the latrine itself has a chute that goes down, and you can hear kind of running water faintly far away.
I think we'll take the Cardinal's body into the bathroom and put him in the bath wrapped in the sheets, and then we'll deal with Kelsia's corpse first.
In the latrine.
The latrine, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, you both get to work moving bodies. We're going to cut back to the others. At this point, the rescuer leads you in to this large sort of majestic building. You walk down quite a long corridor, kind of your footsteps begin echoing, and you can faintly hear the sounds of like probably cooking from the kitchens or something. However, right at the end of the corridor, standing in the dark, you faintly see light shimmering across its metal face is an inquisitor. a figure stands, or you hear a kind of a chair pulling back, and some words are spoken, and a figure steps into the corridor, nodding towards the Inquisitor, and turns and sees you. You recognize this person. You recognize them as Wendelin. He raises a hand. Gypsies of Fortune. And he kind of immediately takes in that there's only 3 of you. The Inquisitor just kind of follows him slowly. You can see that the Inquisitor isn't walking across this marble. Its feet are just slightly above, just slowly levitating behind him, almost silently.
Yeah.
Well, this is rather fortunate circumstances.
Wendelin, it's a pleasure to meet you again. I did not expect you to be here today.
Well, myself and a lot of others had requested this meal with Celeste, but she has unfortunately not shown. Where might she have gone?
What? She's not here? That's very unlike her. Where? Do you know why?
I do not. I was hoping that you would. You were not with her prior to this?
No, we parted yesterday. She invited us, myself and my companions, to join her at this feast today, but we've been amongst the city all day. We arranged to meet here.
His eyes sort of narrow, but you can see him reading you. But he seems to know you to be truthful.
I would have assumed that you and the Empire were keeping a close watch on her too, no? When was she last seen?
He doesn't say anything for a few moments. I feel it would be best if we go and perhaps check on her at the lodgings. Come.
I think you're right.
And he begins briskly kind of walking along the corridor with you. He turns towards the Inquisitor behind and sort of does a kind of, to follow. And you begin heading back towards the lodgings. It will take a little bit, but meanwhile, the brothers at said lodgings. I'd like you both to, for this, I'm going to do it as a skill challenge. I would like you to come up with creative ways to use your skills in which to...
Oh, fuck yeah.
To essentially clean up a murder.
I would like
Turn into a wolf and eat the bodies.
Would I be able to use my...
Are you above licking up the blood as a dog?
I would like to use my... First of all, I'd like to use my sleight of hand to carefully dissect the bodies into small enough pieces to put into the bag of withholding.
What are you using as the implement for that?
Dagger.
Guitar.
Yeah, I guess your dagger's sharp. All right,
Yeah.
roll me.
I do still have a dagger, I think.
I mean, yeah, roll me a sleight of hand check.
Okay.
This is morbid.
Wait, we haven't done a long
Natural
rest
20?
yet, have we? Oh!
Natural 20.
A natural 20.
Oh, nice.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Fuck.
So.
For a total of 36.
Oh wow. Okay. Okay.
The
Holy
top
moly.
fucking sashimi style, boy.
That,
I mean,
that
not
could
that
have
you
been,
need it, but you would have had advantage.
That could have been fairly bad, as although precise, it may have taken a long time. But with 2 successes, you've essentially skipped out a whole bit, of the skill challenge.
Oh.
A crit counts as 2 successes. You efficiently dissect the 2 bodies. Obviously, you've moved them into the bath and kept them in the latrine. Meticulously dissect these 2 bodies. Meanwhile, Dutch.
Intimidation.
I like to use intimidation. No. To shout in. No. Shit. See, don't get a lot of skills as a pugilist or a barbarian. I don't know what I can use acrobatics or athletics for.
Carry
Intimidation, no. Oh! Shit, hang about. Let me think.
I'm sweating. I'm nervous.
Oh god.
I do. Am I allowed to suggest something?
So,
Yeah.
the blood. What is the
You could
cleanup?
use your athletics to help, because I'm doing the precise work, but you could use your athletics to help break the harder bits of sinewy muscle and bone.
I was thinking of using strength to help, like, pop the joints out,
Oh,
so you can
Jesus.
cut through it easier.
Oh, this is so visceral.
I mean, like, if the bones are separated, you can just go straight through.
Sure.
So I could, like, snap a femur or, like, dislocate a knee.
Roll me an
It's already
athletics
done,
check then.
Yeah.
Apologies to any younger viewers.
Any squeamish people out
Yeah, Josh, you're right.
Oh, it's an 18 plus 9, so 27.
I mean, you break apart these bodies and you manage to stuff them into the bag of withholding. There's a kind of grumbling noise, almost like a kind of quivering from the bag of holding as you put this
Ooh.
flesh into the
Is that
bag.
a positive sound? Is it like a? Is it
You can roll me
responding positively?
either an animal handling or a nature check real quick to figure out.
Insight!
I think I don't got either of those tags, so I just want to see what it is. Not good. Nature's 9.
It just grumbled and quivered. You don't
Okay.
know whether it's good or bad.
Yeah.
There's a gelatinous cube in there.
So 3 successes
Yeah, we've
so
never
far.
put dead bodies, have we?
What's your next skill?
Could I do an investigation to find all the bits of the room that need to be cleaned? Like
Yep.
any small splatters of blood, anything like that?
Okay.
Yeah.
Roll me an investigation check.
Okay. Oh, it's okay. A 23.
A 23. Looking around the room, yeah, you successfully managed to find maybe all the small splatters. You wipe those sort of clean, but the problem still lies in that there's a huge puddle of blood where the cardinal died originally. In the middle of
Okay.
Oh, really?
in the middle of the lounge, yeah.
I've got 8. Oh no, shit! I can't use saving. Could I use a saving
It's
throw?
like a body's worth has just seeped into the carpet in the middle.
Dutch, perhaps you could go downstairs and persuade them to bring us up some hot water and rags as we wish to bathe.
That smell is going to be fucking strong as well.
I mean, is
And-
there a fireplace in this room, Tashi?
Yeah, there's a hearth, although it's not lit.
I mean, if we set the carpet on fire,
That's going to arouse more suspicion. We need to clean this room and we need to get out of here as quickly as we can.
Oh, shit. Something I totally forgot to say.
Yeah.
Which would have happened earlier, but it can happen now regardless. Clutching the piece of paper in your hand, you watch as it just, whoosh, after reading, burst into flames.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Cool. So,
Dutch, if you go downstairs and try and require some cleaning, or we could try and find a cleaning cupboard ourselves and try and get some chemicals to try and clean this floor. It's the only thing that's going to get it out of here. Actually, do I have anything in my alchemist's kit that might help?
So the
Any
alchemist
solvents
kit,
or anything like that?
not enough to
Enough.
clean the amount of. You looking at it, you're unsure whether you're gonna be able to clean that off unless you spend a long time and get all the right stuff. Like it's like
I
a
have
carpeted
a
floor.
plan. What if we just burn it a little bit and say that we dropped a candle but we put it out? We just burn the bloody.
Oh, how that's gonna fly! What if it?
We'll open the window.
What if they bring an
and shut the
inquisitor
door,
here,
they'll never
Dutch?
smell it. What?
What if they bring an inquisitor? We need magic to.
Because we dropped a candle.
We don't know what could happen, Dutch. And if they have ways to see through our lies, then we could land in a whole lot of trouble, especially with what we've done already.
Yeah, all right then. Let's fucking go get some rags and cloths.
Some chemicals.
Yeah. Neat rum. White rum. They'll fucking clean anything off. They used to use it in the bars on the sticky fucking floors.
Right.
Clear white rum.
So you're heading downstairs, Dutch.
Yep.
What check are you gonna make?
I'm gonna use deception because I have a +5 in it.
Mm-hmm.
To say, I want to have a nice long bath. Could I get a couple of bottles of rum, loads of towels, and some nice, strong, bubbly baths and that? Because I got this foot and I stood in something and I don't know what the fuck it is. I want something hard. That's my luck.
Roll me the deception check, please.
Thank you. It's really horrible doing it on a computer.
Oh.
Ooh.
No, that's the last one.
Oh.
What does
Oh,
inspiration do? I've got one.
Nothing with a 1. That's 2 fails.
Could I?
Why
While
can't
Dutch
you
is doing
re-roll
this,
it
could
with
I?
an
Could I
inspiration?
look for a cleaning cupboard? Could I use stealth to sort of slip into like?
It was
servants'
add a D10,
quarters?
wasn't it?
Unfortunately, that is the skill challenge failed.
Hang on. Inspiration lets you re-roll.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, of course. Okay, sure. How are you? Have you got one to use?
Yeah. Me and Theo both got one for the
Yeah.
thing
You
we
did. You did. So how are you using it?
Now.
No, you've got to justify the use in order to use it.
So what I'm going to do, seeing that they're not buying the whole dirty foot thing, and it's just falling and they can see that that is clearly a lie, I'm going to go, okay, I'm sorry, I shouldn't lie to you. I missed the floor when I was having a shit.
Sure, re-roll.
Oh my god, I just hit refresh instead of a roll. For fuck's sake! Wait, I can do it real quick. I hate this, man.
The stress is real.
Don't do this.
Oh, Aiden's here.
Oh.
No.
Okay.
Oh.
That's fine. That is fine. Because that's still a +5. So it's a
Is it though?
11.
So an 11.
Guidance.
Guidance!
It's too late for guidance.
Shit!
Just to catch Richter up really quick.
Thank you.
So, Dylan and Dutch get back to the apartments. find the Cardinal of the Lunar Gate dead. You knew that much already.
I knew that. Yep.
They inspect further. They read the letter, which burns into ash upon reading.
Rats.
And no one else is around. The candle is very low. They check the latrines because Dylan hears dripping from it, and they find the dead body of Resquire Calcia bled out in the latrine.
And he left an upper decker.
Meanwhile, you lot go to this dinner in which you, upon arriving, you accidentally bump in, or well, kind of, you bump into Wendelin. Wendelin, with an Inquisitor, says that Celeste never arrived at the dinner, and where is she? And you say, we don't know, because you don't know. And so you're all heading to the rooms currently, while Dylan and Dutch have just done a skill challenge to try and clean it up. But although they've rolled really well, there's still some very difficult things to manage to clean up.
Oh, what a kerfuffle.
So you join us right as Dutch trying to deceive some lady to get more cleaning products for them to somehow clean this massive pool of blood.
Xanthar Noir.
You all enter the kind of ground floor of the ephemeral wing, and you see Dutch off to the side chatting with some what look to be some servants. Dutch, you turn and you see Ruthus, Richter, Zook, as well as a figure that you have not seen, a high elf, a sun elf, in kind of full kind of it looks like military vestments. They're almost sort of for show, but there is quite a well, yeah, that's what you'd see. Behind them, standing outside, not coming in, standing on the outside, you catch sight of what looks to be an Inquisitor.
They're outside, you say? They haven't come in?
The Inquisitor, it looks as though Wendelin has told it to wait outside.
Okay.
Looks to be an Inquisitor. I mean, they're pretty hard to mistake.
It is it is.
Yeah, but Dutch is
all right.
doing this up.
He's a big blue fucker.
While Dutch was doing this, I wanted to sneak downstairs and see if I could take some alcohol and some towels. Just steal it outright. Would I, if I was down there, like being sneaky, would I be able to see this happening? With the Inquisitor.
Roll me a stealth check.
Okay. A 22.
You would. Maybe you're kind of hidden among some of the darker corners, trying to find your way to some cleaning products when you notice Dutch is just trying to haggle with this woman who's not having any of it. He just loudly says, I shit myself on the floor. Which is
I shit on the floor.
I shit on the floor, all right? And this lady just...
immediately head upstairs to the room and I start trying to set fire to it.
Okay.
Yeah!
So you're going to head upstairs. As everyone enters, Dutch, what are you doing as they all enter?
Because I see the Inquisitor, right?
No, you wouldn't have. Because it wouldn't have been within 50 feet.
I don't know.
You don't set it on fire. Okay, so you stay down. I mean,
I head up with the stuff.
You would have potentially sensed a figure with them that isn't one of. You would be able to sense Ruthus, Zook, and Richter returning. But you wouldn't be able to. You sense that they're with someone else, but you wouldn't know who.
I mean, Dylan's fairly intelligent. He would have thought that they've gone to this party and they've and they've been told that Celeste never turned up, and they're heading back here to see if they can find her.
Yep.
So I would, and I obviously know that we've already chopped up these fucking bodies. So, and there's another figure with them. Okay, I will go upstairs and I will start trying to set fire to the room.
Okay.
Yeah.
What have you got to set it on fire with?
I don't have a tinderbox.
What's the room lit with?
Anything? There's got to be candles around, right? Somewhere. There's got to be candles. I've got to be.
There's
Oil
candles.
lamps.
There's some candles. There's some
Oil.
wood by the hearth. There's not any
There's
oil.
going to be
You got a bottle of booze. didn't
loads
you?
of oil lamps around.
There's loads of whiskey and liquor in the cabinet.
I mean, would I have already got the liquor? I don't know.
There's still liquor in the cabinet.
And did I manage to get
Fucking
any?
burn it.
I would say you were stealthing down and you saw this happening.
Okay.
So no.
But can I grab a candle or from another room or something?
Just roll me a d20. This is a luck check to see if you're lucky on your way up.
Okay.
Ooh, a candelabra.
Oh, it's rolled under a bit of wire. I don't know what it is.
Oh, a torch.
It's a 12.
Yes, there's some candles that are maybe on a table. Some wax
Okay.
sort of pushed down. You pick one up carefully, holding it, keeping
Can I
it
take
lit.
Can I take the whole thing?
the candle?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna. Yeah, well, I'll find out whatever I need. I'm just wondering. I probably want as much as I can get to then try and start setting fire to sheets and stuff.
Well, you
Or the
just
half,
grab
at
this
least.
candle on the way up to the room.
Okay.
So you're going to begin essentially just lighting as much as you can.
I want it to look like the fire has spread from the hearth.
Okay. In which case, make me a survival check.
Okay. It's okay. Come on.
My dad.
It's bad. It's a 10.
Okay. You begin kind of just
Inspiration.
wildly setting fire to stuff.
Inspiration.
I think I used it. I
think
can't
you used
remember
it
if
in
I
the
used
fight,
it or not.
in the vault. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I did. Yeah.
While that's happening, this is meanwhile. What are
Okay.
you lot doing?
As soon as we
I'm down
enter,
there, aren't I?
Hmm?
Hey, guys! Rufus, can I speak to you privately for 1 second? Just come over
Dutch.
here. And I'm going
Please,
to block
Dutch.
the door.
please, Dutch. There's no time for this. Celeste is missing. I'm going to turn to
No,
Wendelin.
you can't go upstairs. Listen.
I'm going to turn to Zook and
Why?
Richter. Zook and Richter, please accompany Dutch upstairs and search for Celeste. And I'll turn to Wendelin. Wendelin, I suggest if she is missing, we question the concierge, the receptionists here at Cinnamon Inn. With your presence there, they will not deny telling you the truth of what they've seen.
Okay, you can roll me a persuasion check. Dutch, you can roll me a deception check, please. I'm rolling Wendelin's insight.
Okay.
Got 27.
Fuck. I got 10.
He sort of nods towards you and says, "I'll have someone on it," and he whistles, and you can see the Inquisitor stays stationary, and instead 2 figures from maybe across the courtyard begin heading in your direction. He turns back to, I think the kind of the place you're in at the moment is almost like a downstairs lounge area, if you imagine like a big hotel style area. He turns towards everyone and says, "Everybody stay exactly where you are." He points towards you, Dutch. "Do not move. Do not move. Do not move." Maybe the 6 or 7 people that are in that area just like go completely silent Someone's got like a tray of food in their hand, and they just stay exactly still, looking about, realizing who this person is.
Is he addressing us, me and Rufus, as well?
Sort of, not really. Everyone else and Dutch.
Richter puts a hand up, like to sort of request to say something to the guy.
He just sort of looks towards you as these two other people are approaching.
If this is the closest that we know to Celeste's location, I can cast a spell to try and locate her from here.
Roll me a persuasion check.
Ooh, 19 plus 9, baby. 28.
He nods towards you, reading your kind of honesty in your words as well. You can see with everything you're saying, he's really analyzing everything.
I'm being scrutinized pretty hard.
Well, I guess you haven't met this guy, but they'd briefly spoken of him as head of the fucking Inquisition.
Yeah, his bearing casts a character.
The two figures approach, and oh man, what's the freaking name? It's the like role's name. I always do this. Who was the guy from ages ago that betrayed you in Ingmiri in the wolf attack, and he was Wayland's right-hand man?
Practical Frost.
Two practicals arrive. That's the word.
Oh shit!
Two practicals arrive in dark leathers. You can see one is wearing like a half mask on the bottom that's like leather with those kind of breathing holes through it, just kind of around the bottom half of his face. The other one is a gnarly looking like scrawny woman with a whip sort of at her side. He turns towards both of them and says, make sure that question these people, see what they know. Don't let anyone in or out of this part of the ephemeral wing. They kind of nod.
Can I look at Dutch and see, like, is something wrong? Like, does he know, like, can I get a bead on?
Your passive insight would have let you know, as did his, that Dutch was lying when he said, well, or suspicious when he was like, don't go upstairs, you can't go up there.
Okay. Okay. Do you mind if I go upstairs, Gwendolyn? I really am concerned about Celeste. I'd like to get looking as soon as possible.
He nods towards you and says, quite right. Follow me, and begins heading up there.
Okay.
Gwendolyn, what do you think could have happened?
Where am I in
Do
relation
you think
to the...
someone's after her?
You're standing, like, so the stairs come down. You're standing kind of off to the side, questioning some of the other. So you're not really that near the stairs. I get you can see the Inquisitor outside of the doors to this place from where you are, but you're inside.
Can you let me know if I hear footsteps?
Yeah,
I will.
My passive insight is
Perception.
20. Passive perception is 21.
As you begin walking up the stairs, Rufus, you asked him. You said, "What does he think could have happened?"
Yeah.
He turns and says, "Well, I'm not entirely sure, but we're going to find out, aren't we?"
Yes, but do you know of anyone that would be after her? Anyone that would want to threaten her?
He shakes his head. Not that I know of.
Wait, I have a spell.
He doesn't.
Wait.
He's just continually walking this entire time up the stairs.
Oh,
You're
okay.
like behind him, walking up the stairs with him.
Okay.
What are you thinking, Zook?
Yeah, so you can chat as Rufus is chatting to him as he goes, but he's not stopping.
What do you think, Zook?
I could try and scry on her. Maybe if I get one of her possessions, In fact, she may even let me in. Do you have a way to contact her, Richter?
What we can
I can
do
send.
is we could have a drink before we go upstairs and have a talk about what's happened.
Insight.
You're out of sight and
never mind.
shot at this point, Mike.
I said I wanted to walk up with them. I wanted to be near them when I saw them.
As you begin, if you're moving, then he will stop and just point towards you and be like, "Do not move from where you are.
Why?
Take another step and see what happens."
Who the fuck are you?
Dutch, please.
Dutch, no.
It's not the time.
He whistles, and the Inquisitor moves into the building. It now looms into the doorway.
I guess I'll stay still then.
Quite right. Continues back up the stairs.
Ooh.
What are you doing, Dutch?
Nah, it's not worth it.
It just is like looming there in the doorway, and it just sort of passes its face across the room. You can see one of the servants holding the tray. It's like clattering with fear. Dylan, you hear footsteps.
Okay, I cast invisibility, and do I know if the windows go to the outside?
Yeah, you have front-facing windows.
I go out the window.
Okay, make me a stealth check.
Okay. Oh, with advantage.
With advantage.
A 26.
You crack open one window as smoke is now kind of enveloping the room as the fire begins to take. You step out, climbing, shimmying out. Where are you off? Are you up? Are you going along? Are you dropping down?
Just a brief look. What's beneath me? What's above me?
Beneath you is like the kind of front of the building. Luckily, you're invisible, but you can hear people kind of walking about. There seems to be a few people that are stopped and kind of muttering to each other.
Okay, so I will just start heading down beneath, and then trying to leave the ward.
Okay.
The wing.
You begin shimmying down. At this point, you all that are walking upstairs can smell smoke.
Shut the window behind me.
Okay, good to know. And Wendellin's kind of eyes twitch, and he begins making a quicker pace.
I start rushing forward as well.
Yeah, rushing.
I start shouting her name.
You get to the door, and you can see smoke kind of creeping underneath.
This isn't This isn't the room she was staying in, though. She's staying in a different room.
So you had a big lounge area together, and all of your rooms were doors off from that main room, so you're all staying in the same place.
Oh, okay. Right.
He's gonna kick the door down. With a clean kick, he slams his foot into the door, and it smashes open. Smoke kind of billows out. He puts a kind of rag up over his nose and begins entering into the smoke.
Does it appear to be a huge fire, or just several small ones that are sort of like starting to lick up?
Are you going into?
Yeah. This is terrifying. This is, oh my god. I'm going to start prestiing if I can.
It's not like the entire room is ablaze, but there is definitely like one wall section where the curtains have just taken. The bit where the latrine has just kind of gone up. That entire doorway, it's just kind of on fire. The other side, less so. There are sort of small sections of it.
Can I presti those smaller fires and try and snuff them out?
You certainly can. Rufus and Zook, what are you doing?
I'm just like running into the room as well. Rufus is, and just like Rufus is genuinely concerned. His wisdom is so low, he doesn't know that anything's wrong, and he just knows that she's missing. And now there's like a fire in the room. So Rufus is running in and shouting, Celeste, where are you? And like running towards her room to look for her.
You begin sprinting across the room. Wendellin's just standing in the middle of the room, just sort of looking around, lit by the sort of fire.
That's pretty badass.
Sweet.
What are you doing, Zook?
I'm going to follow Ruthless into her rooms and try and salvage something that I know Celeste owns. Maybe some of her clothes or something. Or maybe even better, looking for like a hair on her pillow or something.
I will say, roll me a perception check upon entering the room. It's quite smoky, so with disadvantage.
Am
Okay.
I doing the same? Or no?
You just said you were just diving straight across. Also, your passive perception is just so bad that you won't have even noticed anything.
It's a 17.
With a 17, you can spot the large, sticky mass in the center of the room.
Oh no, Ruthless! I fear the worst.
Ruthless, you kick open the door to Celeste Chambers, and you can see it is totally untouched in there.
No, sorry, I was going to Celeste's chambers.
Yeah, I just wanted you to roll that as you entered. So
to see.
You would have seen that immediately, and then make decisions based on that. Ruthless, you open the door. No one's in there. It's untouched by fire. However, it looks to be kind of like in a bit of a state. Things are kind of tossed about.
Okay. Rufus, flings the door open, and then that realization that there's no one there, he sort of stops still. Celeste? She's not here! Where? And then I'm going to start going into the room and I don't know, just rummaging around a little bit and looking under things, I don't know, in cupboards or whatever.
As this kind of chaos happens, Victor, you're prestying bits of fire out.
Oof.
Zook, what are you doing as you stand there? You're sort of standing next to Wendelin. You can see him looking down, eyeing the room, just taking it all in.
I'm just kind of going, oh no, Celeste, oh no. And I'll dash into her room, and I'm going to try and look on her pillow for a strand of her hair. Failing that, I'm going to try and get a brush or something that looks like it might have belonged to her.
Maybe an investigation check.
That's a 10.
There's too much smoke everywhere, and you're sort of panicking.
Okay. Okay, I just cough. Ruthless, I think she may have been hurt.
Dylan, climbing down and sort of heading away from the ephemeral wing, you would sense that.
Sorry.
You would sense in that 50 feet aura around you as you kind of get to the bottom that standing in the doorway facing away from you is a large entity. An entity kind of the pings that you kind of get are the same to which you have seen the Inquisitors.
Is there another window I can head through back into the building?
There are quite a few different windows, but you'd have to head quite far round. Dutch, what are you doing?
Is the Inquisitor still looking at me?
It's not looking directly at you. It's just standing in the doorway, kind of there, imposing in the kind of atrium area.
Okay. Can I use thaumaturgy to... I can't use it to make noises. That's minor illusion, isn't it?
I think thaumaturgy you can make.
Thaumaturgy's noises. Minor illusion
noises.
is like
a
shape,
small noise, I think.
maybe
Like a
visual.
creak.
You
visual.
can.
Can I make the noise of a woman screaming?
You can create instantaneous sound that originates from a point of your choice.
Okay.
Like
Can
the
I do
rumble
the
of
sound?
thunder, ominous whispers, things like that.
Can I do a woman scream behind and to the left of the Inquisitor, let's say 30, 40 meters off?
It's 30. You can do it 30 feet away.
Yeah, I'll do it 30 feet away then.
Sure. Make me a deception check. Trying to deceive an inquisitor.
So 19 plus 5, so 24.
A 24.
Nice.
Holy shit, that's above its passive insight by like only a little bit. You see it twitch and turn like in a really unhuman way, almost like someone's puppeting it. You know, like it's led not by its head.
Yeah, that's creepy.
It's led by like other bits as it twists and turns away. Yeah, like this, like in the air. Still
Justice Golem.
It twists, and you hear this, and it just whoosh heads out of the doorway.
I'd like to, not so it knows that I'm running, so I'd like to stealth away, please, from my location.
Roll me a stealth check. Clutch. Clutch Dutch.
So that's plus 6, so 18.
An 18. You see it vanish outside, kind of, you know, where you faced it away, and immediately, where are you headed? So you can head further into the building and try and find maybe another exit at the back, or you can head upstairs, but that's where your friends went. Yeah, I'm sure.
I know the toilets go somewhere, right?
Yeah, but the hole was probably not big enough for you.
Damn it, motherfucker! I'd like to go out the nearest fucking window and then dip.
Make me a quick perception check in that case. This is all happening like in slow motion. Hooey.
Metal Gear Dutch.
In there. Oh shit! So a 1, but an unnatural. No. What is it?
No, it's not that bad.
No.
A 4.
A 4. Turning, you get low and you begin stealthing out, sort of further into the building through what you assume is maybe like the kitchen area. You kind of squat down. There's a few people kind of standing there, not moving in the kitchen and whispering to each other and trying to look. You know, there's that kind of cut-out section in the wall where they pass food.
Yeah.
There's like 2 people kind of looking out through that. You creep round, heading through the kitchen. You can't see any windows, but you're just heading in that direction. Dylan, you see, you sense it just move. It maybe 15 feet away from you, it kind of moves off.
Where it moves 15 feet away from me?
Like it comes within 15 feet of you, close to you, but heads off maybe 30 feet.
Okay, I'm moving away from that. I'd like to
move away from the screen.
I'd like to get somewhere to where I think roughly Dutch is inside the building and just start trying to feel if I can sense him anywhere.
So you're going to go into the building? Back in?
No, not into the building. I want to sort of scale the building and just sort of see if I can get somewhere and just sort of, I don't know. I want to find, or if I can find somewhere to hide on the ground. And I'm just going to sort of like see if I can wait for Dutch, see if I can wait for him for a little bit. Otherwise, I'm going to start thinking of a plan he's thinking to himself like, oh, I'm going to, he's obviously not going to leave Dutch behind. That's not within his,
roll me
what anything he'd do.
Roll me a stealth check.
Okay. A 30.
A 30. I'll say you begin stealthily moving around the side of the building, beneath where the fire is now catching the windows, and around the side, kind of heading around, trying to sense whether you can hear your brother. Meanwhile, in the room, I would say the fire is still definitely taking one side of the room. You see Wendelin move his hands in front of him, casting some kind of incantation, and it kind of evaporates out. You see him close his eyes, almost like muttering to himself for a moment.
After like going into Celeste's room and realizing she's not there, in a panic, Rufus will turn back out into the main foyer room and look at Wendelin with genuine despair on Rufus's face. She's not here. She's gone. It's disheveled, but... And then I imagine Rufus would, at this point, see the blood on the floor.
Yeah, him and Zook are both looking at it. Zook's looking kind of like horrified.
Rufus will look down at the big pool of blood, and then his eyes widen. No. Who would hurt her? Rufus will fall to his knees, like down at the pile of blood on the floor. Who would have done this?
Can Richter kneel down? Oh, go on. No, sorry. Please continue.
She's the chosen one, blessed by Saloon. She was brought here by the Empire. There must be someone else who would wish her harm.
Can Richter kneel down as well next to the blood and do a medicine check to see how fresh the blood is? Or is that not medicine?
No, yeah, definitely medicine. Yeah, make me a medicine check.
It's going to sort of like dip a finger into it and check its viscosity and that kind of thing. Oh, 16 plus 6, 22.
22. It's still pretty fresh, although it has coagulated. You imagine within maybe 3 hours.
It seems that this was spilled within the last 3 hours. I can attempt to locate Celeste magically, or I can attempt to send her a message. Of course, if she is not conscious, shall we say, she will not be able to respond, or if she is unwilling to respond, she does not have to.
You have to try, Richter. The chances are she's not anywhere around here.
We have 3 hours.
Gwendolyn raises a finger. She is not anywhere close. We'll get to the bottom of this, Gypsies, as he kind of eyes you all. For now,
Gwendolyn,
backup will be arriving.
You don't have any idea, any inclination? Are you not the head of intelligence here in the city? Surely nothing passes your gaze.
I have some ideas.
Well, please, we could help.
He sort of gestures towards the engulfing flames beginning to lick up like the one side of the wall.
Oh shit!
Just
Druid crop. Druid crop. I start to snuff it out.
It's past cantrips by this point. It's like the entire one side of the room.
And I
thought he just did something.
Pelting it down.
No, he cast something and muttered to himself. You don't know what.
I'm guessing he was trying to locate creature just because he seems pretty confident. But I don't have arcane, so I can't really figure that out. Can I move to sort of start pelting it downstairs to sort of fetch a pail of water?
Yeah, you begin running downstairs.
Water now!
I'll help, but instead of a pail, I'm just like holding it with shape water and dragging it upstairs.
That's sick. Cinder, this isn't the time for you.
At this point, the Inquisitor would return from outside, standing in the doorway, looking about, seeing that one of its prey has left. As you're coming down the stairs, you see the Inquisitor slowly making its way, floating up the stairs towards you.
Is it blocking the path, or can we move past it?
It's just moving up slowly towards you.
Okay. Sidestep, I guess.
You sidestep as it squeezes past, and interestingly, you, Zook, drop to the ground. Like you just hit the ground from where you're staying. The Staff of High Canopy just looks like a stick.
Oh boy.
Your halberd just sort of vanishes entirely.
Oh boy.
Anything magical becomes inert as it passes by, and as it slowly fades and walks back up the stairs away from you, whoosh, 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 it all returns.
Just so we know, what kind of literal range did that occur within? Would you say like 10 feet?
It was within 5 feet.
Okay, all right.
Oh
Good
my
to know for the future.
Oh my god.
It just disabled all magic within 5 feet of it as you
Ooh,
came
baby.
close.
I look at Richter and just say, I don't like them. They're not fun.
I do not understand the ways of the city, but for now we have a rather pressing concern.
Aye,
Rufus,
quick.
the Inquisitor appears in the doorway, and although it doesn't say anything, you see Wendelin's eyebrow sort of twitch and turn, almost like a slight vein popping in his forehead, very similar to that of Waylon. When Waylon kind of begins getting cross, you can see this kind of same vein popping in his forehead. He spins and then turns back. I'm afraid not all is what it seems, and it would appear that your orc friend has absconded. Do not worry, we will find him.
Well, there's no way he would have a dealing in this. Does he's brash and brutish, but he's of good heart. You have my word.
He looks back towards the Inquisitor, and although he doesn't say anything, the Inquisitor bows and turns, and you see it kind of shift round and whoosh back down the hallway. It passes you again. I guess you step out the way, but further to avoid the water spilling.
And I sort of move to sort of catch Zook as he tumbles.
The Inquisitor passes by faster this time, heading downstairs.
Wait, for meta-wise, for like 5 seconds, does Zook like plump back up into an unwithered body?
Nope, the curse remains.
Oh, great! So I still can't heal. That's cool.
Interestingly, the curse is something that has happened to you and cannot be reverted clearly by dispelling the magic.
Oh god.
It's not quite the same thing. You head back upstairs, put the rest of the water out. As Wendelin stands by the window, you see him looking out of the window. Zook, you would, with your high passive perception, see what look to be a few figures just flying through the air towards you. Their kind of tattered robes about them, kind of flapping in the wind. Their shimmering metal faces.
Well, they're just flying.
They're just coming across through the sky.
Oh my god. Okay.
Dutch, I'd like you to roll me another stealth check, and Dylan, I'd like you to roll me a perception check.
Okay, is this hearing?
Yes.
Am I hearing out
You're
for him?
trying to
Okay.
sense for your brother.
What was that noise?
28 for me.
Someone there.
16.
16. Dutch, you managed to finally find the kind of back entrance where the kitchens are, where they must load kind of food. You make your way out into the street. Dylan, you sense your brother close. With that roll, in even him trying to stealth, you recognize through your blind sight his footsteps. However, you also, with that perception check, sense something large heading through the kitchens behind him.
Oh, that's tense.
Is there a place I can duck behind? Is there anywhere I can sort of get out of the way so I can send a message to Dutch quickly?
Yeah, you're kind of in the alleys behind this.
Okay, so I duck behind and I send a message to Dutch, placing the copper wire to my throat. Dutch, I'm directly outside, but there's an Inquisitor behind you. I suggest you abandon stealth for now.
Okay. Can I respond?
I think you can with message. Yep. In these
25
few seconds,
words.
what are you saying?
All right, I'm going to give him the slip. And then what's around me immediately?
Heading out, there's essentially a row of, like a hedgerow beyond a courtyard. You're kind of on the edge of the Andriont, but fucking hell, you're in the Andriont. with Inquisitors on your tail, and the only real ways out of the Andrion are over the big bridges.
Is there water? Is it just a water? Is there water that we can jump into?
You could jump off. It's a huge drop because it's on like a plateau.
That's absolutely fine. I make the jump.
Okay, it's maybe, I'll say it's maybe 100 feet off the edge wall. You can see there's the tall lantern lit areas off the edge.
This is what Gomaku's training was all about.
Okay,
Is there a distance from which hitting water will? Because that in real life, if you just jump out of a plane to the ocean, you're gonna fucking die. Is there a distance from which hitting water hurts you?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I need you to make me an athletics check, and this is going to be your speed and sprinting towards this wall to leap over it as you feel
I would like to rage
noise behind you. You go into a rage and you just begin darting towards you would see this. He breaks out, whispers that back to you in the message, rages and begins sprinting off towards the edge.
I'd like to think I explode through the door. I'm gonna sneak out. Boom!
Roll me your athletics. Roll me your athletics.
Oh, come on, lads.
I have advantage because I'm raging.
That's true.
So I got a 16, and my athletics a double proficiency when I'm raging as well. Oh, that's only for grapple.
It's only for grapple.
It's 9, so 26.
A 26. Okay, I'm gonna roll it. Okay. Sprinting as fast as you can, kind of leaping towards Dylan. You sense crashing out, almost kind of breaking parts of the doorway out of the back. You hear this noise as one of the Inquisitors smashes out, flying forwards, almost like someone's dragging it on hidden chains as it just moves in this awkward way. Dutch, with green around him, you see the bear begin to gallop on all fours alongside. He sprints as the Inquisitor beginning to gain on him. You reach the edge. It's essentially like, like the Thames. There's that kind of palisade section with the kind of oil light lamps. You just jump off. You turn around as you're falling in the air, and you see the Inquisitor come over the edge and dive towards you. It's just like a metal head with all of its tattered kind of tendrils whipping behind it. It's gaining on you as you're falling.
Okay, are there any sections of ground? So how far down was the palisade I jumped off to the bridge? Or was it the same level?
Wait, so off the edge of this section, it's just straight down towards
how far towards the side is the bridge?
Towards one of the canals. The bridge isn't near this section, or one of them.
Okay, yeah, I'd like to dart down to the bottom, going fast.
Well, you're just falling. You're free falling. Your feathers on the inside of your arms are just kind of like guiding you, but you're just falling before it. It's like, at least 100 feet up, maybe more.
Okay, as it starts to gain on me, if it does, when I'm near the bottom, I'd like to ready my gloves and give a sonic boom towards the wall or the, what's it called, Inquisitor, whatever's closest.
It begins slowly reaching you, flying faster than you're falling. You rub your hands together and smash them, both the ice and the fire, creating a fog cloud. You hear this as it begins kind of freaking out, but then you fall back and you see the fog. It gets pushed back, doesn't it? So it has to make a strength save.
He's like a gull hovering on thermals.
I rolled a 6.
Before break, I'll show you my seagull that hasn't stopped staring at me.
A 13.
So, DC 14, be knocked prone. So does it stop flying and just, what happens?
It gets knocked. So you just see it disappear into a fog cloud with this.
I also get knocked back, I'm guessing, and I don't want to save.
get knocked back. Your rage has gone because you've been free falling longer than and running longer than that. So you need to rage right before you hit the water. However, you turn last minute thinking about going into a rage, and there's this whoosh noise, and you just begin slowly falling. You can see the feathers down the inside of your arms are kind of like all moving in conjunction with each other as you begin slowly falling down towards the water. You into the water.
Oh, sick!
Oh wow! What a way to find that out.
I know. It's like it was written. I didn't come up with that.
Oh, that's epic.
So I'm in the water now.
Yeah, you sploosh slowly down into the water.
Okay, can I use a combination of two things here?
Mm-hmm.
I want to use my stealth to try and like remain at the bottom hidden, and then my athletics to like do a fast alligator swim along the bottom of the water.
Okay, roll me a stealth, followed by an athletics check then. How long can you hold your breath for, Dutch?
Whatever the normal time is, then the con modifier, isn't it?
It's 1 minute plus your con modifier.
Oh, so I've
Is
got
the con
4 minutes.
seconds or?
You've got 4 minutes. Nice.
Wow.
While that
So this
happens,
is
Dylan.
Stealth. So I got 15.
Cool. And then the athletics. While that's happening, Dylan, what were you doing?
Okay, so I cast invisibility again on myself,
Mm-hmm.
and I hybrid transformation, and I just, instead of jumping, I just start scaling the wall down.
Okay. I'll say maybe off to the side. You can see what's happening as you kind of begin scaling. So roll me an athletics check to scale the wall down.
A 15? I'm pretty sure. A 15.
It's pretty sheer, and although with your claws you kind of begin sliding, catch yourself again, begin sliding. You make it halfway down before a piece of rock comes away, and you begin tumbling backwards. No. Whoosh, whoosh. You're maybe 60 feet from the water.
Okay, can I turn it into a dive as best as I can?
Roll me an acrobatics check.
Okay. A 26.
Flipping back, you manage to twist and somersault, and eventually, although no one sees, there's just a splash because you're invisible. You take no damage. It's water, and you manage to do a pretty good acrobatics roll. You down into the water. I'll say with your passive perception and dark vision, and blind sense.
Yeah.
You're able to hear faintly, because your passive perception is higher than his 15 stealth. You're able to hear the swimming of your brother.
Fuck. Okay, I follow him.
You begin swimming after invisibly, and I think we'll have a small break there.
Oh,
fuck
Holy shit!
Amazing.
Oh, that's why I love D&D.
my sphincter is like that big. Good God.
Okay, we're taking 5.
Yeah, we're taking 5.
Yeah, look at this bird.
Okay, I gotta very quickly go hang. I gotta very quickly.
Yeah.
I got a very.
Oh, that's a cool bird.
That's
Man.
my
Galley. Galley.
Yeah.
We've got a galley as well.
Oops.
Primrose barks at it. I'm gonna go give my dog a little cuddle.
Where are the babies?
To calm my nerves.
Hey, all right. I've only just joined the chat. Has anyone been messaging? Has anyone been checking?
No. Our favourite Chris has. We're a bit lower on the viewers than we were the other day.
Chris and Commander Router here. Classic.
Yeah. Our faves.
We've also had a wizard.
Oh, look at that seagull.
Oh, yeah, Hugh was here.
Yeah.
Oh, very good. Very good.
Good guy, Hugh.
Dinner's in the chat, everyone. Make sure you get your dinners in the chat.
Yeah.
Chris, let us know what you're having.
He did actually say he had
did he? I should get this
Curry. Spicy potato curry.
We don't have to ask anymore.
Dinner's in the
I know,
chat.
it's so good.
I've got a pizza. I'm gonna have another pizza.
I have very delicious salmon red Thai curry. which I have to say is probably one of the best I've had in months.
Oh my god.
That does
It's
sound like
flipping amazing.
a homemade or pre-bought.
Homemade, yeah. It's Maisie has outdone herself. It's
That sounds very good. Sounds very good.
A few people extra have joined us. We're just having a short break, but we'll start again.
Very short.
Yeah, you just missed some intense action. It was pretty incredible. Maybe Tashi, you just want to give it a short little brief description of what happens. I'm going to quickly go cuddle my dog.
I need a wee.
Nerves are shot.
Yeah. So essentially, what just went down was, you have no idea how bad that could have been. So, the head of the Inquisition, along with half of the party, arrive back at the inn that they're staying in, where essentially one of the cardinals has been killed, not by them, by an enemy criminal gang from the city, clearly throwing some spanners in their works. The brothers Dylan and Dutch try to chop the bodies up and hide them. Right as the rest of the party return, their NPC friend Celeste, who they came to the city with, is missing, clearly taken by this criminal organization Eldama, and they're in this sticky situation where the head of the Inquisition, along with an Inquisitor, this strange creature, are gonna find out that I don't know, that the Cardinal died. Half the party unaware of any of this happening, and none the wiser, head upstairs where the room is being half burnt down to a crisp to try and cover up the remains. It didn't work, unfortunately, and Wendelin, the head of the Inquisition, clearly knows something is up. He sensed Dutch's bad deception rolls and sent the Inquisitor after him. Dutch, trying to make a quick escape using some thaumaturgy, which was really good, manages to escape through the back of the kitchen in the inn complex, heading out away towards the edge where the canal is, far below, of the central kind of palace district. The Inquisitor, hot on his heels, he dives off the edge down towards the water, clapping his gloves of fire and ice together to create an explosion of fog, which hindered it as it flew after him, and he splashed into the water. Meanwhile, his brother scales down the wall in his lycanthrope form, going into the water too, and now they're both swimming away, leaving the rest of the party, Zook and Ruthus and Richter, with the head of the Inquisition, more Inquisitors incoming. And that's what we're going to pick up after the break. What are you going to do, Josh? What are you going to do?
I don't know. I don't have the wisdom for this.
It is bonkers, mate.
This is fucking
Christopher
terrifying.
drama.
Like, Dutch is shitting it. Because he knows these things are bad fucking news, man. Like, you don't fuck with these at all.
I enjoy that because Dutch being scared of something is like, oh, this must be bad. If
to quote Dutch from Predator, what's going on out there, Billy? I'm afraid. Are you afraid of no man?
Right, I'm gonna grab my pizza real quick, and I'll be back. And maybe
nice.
a drink.
Dutch ain't afraid of no fucking man. And that thing ain't no fucking man.
Was Tashi saying how we were fucked?
Yeah.
Really?
And also how you know it's bad if Dutch is scared. Which is true. Yeah. Because Green Dragon, I'm gonna grapple that son of a bitch.
You can't grapple dragons, can you? I don't know.
Yes, I fucking can. Oh. Fuck. No. I refuse to allow it. Get that
and also
dreamer out of here, boy.
His little friends.
Oh, nice. They're so sick.
Thanks.
I've sent your thing back, by the way. I'm waiting for the refund, and then I'll get you something else.
Oh, no, it's all right, man. Don't worry.
No. Because then I've got everyone else.
Mike, are you a sadist? Are you a sadist? Are you a sadist? That's what I want to know.
Yes.
get me the Darkfire Demon Rift, which is one of the Slaves to Darkness endless spells.
Yeah, okay.
Do you want Tavi to rage forever?
Is it really good against him?
It's the one where it does an extra pip of damage for every wizard within 12. Yeah. So sorry for anyone who's watching, we're just nerding out to Warhammer stuff.
We play a ton of Warhammer. I'm the best Warhammer player of all time.
Orcs.
I won a game at a tourney once.
One game.
Fuck yeah!
Yeah, I played that guy who was playing Feck at that tournament, and I was doing like 7 mortal wounds to everything with it, just that it passed across because it was like D3 plus 4 mortal wounds.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, because there was like loads of wizards around. So
yeah. Oh man, I'm so hyped for these new orcs. Like, I'm going through my army like my Iron Jaws, and I'm like, yeah, I need to make these more swampy.
Yeah,
like
yours are painted quite dark anyway. So I think
like I said earlier, like my topless one that I green stuffed. Like I don't know if there's any light.
Gonna sneeze.
But yeah, like he's pretty swampy. He's just got 2 sticks and he's topless.
Yeah, he
so
looks
like
great.
if they change some wordings around and stuff, that would be fucking great.
You get some like old mesh.
I don't think they will. It'll be keyword bingo. Oh, I'm sneezing and stuff a bit because I'm feeling a little bit rough because of the old
number one
jab.
I'll get that fucking shoulder out, son, please.
I'm just feeling a bit sore because of all my jabs.
Oh, for anyone who's interested, well, probably not that interested, but
me
and Mike are so into our D&D characters that we got we got matching tattoos that represent our D&D characters. So you've got Dutch, the Totem of the Bear Barbarian, and you've got the Lycanthrope there. So
what a moment to reveal the tattoos as well after that brother shenaniganery.
Yeah.
I mean, if you don't like D&D enough to get a tattoo, just get the fuck off the stream.
I've been seeing my pajamas on the stream. I know.
If you don't like it that much, I don't want you as a fan.
We do. Dutch might not.
Shout out Josh's girlfriend and Josh for getting me this amazing t-shirt, which is hand knitted.
Oh, fuck.
Johnny McDuffers. It's the DA for my birthday. Look at that.
We all need,
So nice.
Yeah. We all need to get t-shirts now, I think.
Yes. And then we need
each with our initials in.
Sell some merch.
Unless it's a nice fitted t-shirt that flatters my figure, it's going to be a vest.
We could make a vest version.
It literally
Chris Gilliard in the chat, our number 1 fan, can buy one, or we'll probably send him one for free. Actually,
Chris
at this point.
Said, right, let's get straight back in. Is
I don't think Aiden's back.
Is Aiden back? No, he's not back. All right. Theo,
it would look sick in that patch.
Theo, what's planned for Thursday?
So we haven't actually decided on a topic yet, because my co-hosts who are joining me this week haven't messaged me back with regard. I shared the document that has a few options, but they haven't said anything. So Josh and Aiden.
Yes.
Yeah.
Does that mean I'm getting Rupert?
So I'm going to choose one tomorrow, and I'll put out a post with regards to what we're going to be discussing. But anyway, the important thing is that these guys will get the opportunity to do a bit of a deep dive into their own characters, so that they play in this stream. So that'll be cool to hear a bit more, and sort of there's a lot of backstory that isn't necessarily always mentioned, so it's a good point of reference for people that don't know. And go to YouTube and go back and listen to last week, because we had Tashi on, obviously, and Rupert discussing. What were we discussing last week? We're discussing how to build a narrative character. Some tips and things like that.
We delved into how, like, specifically, I think making a level 1 character as someone who's new to D&D, and how to make a really cool backstory without overdoing it and still making it make sense with the mechanics of being level 1 and actually not being very powerful.
Yeah, remember you're a level 1. Your adventure should be what happens when you're playing, not on the bit of paper when you start.
That's what we
Exactly, yeah.
But you also want the depth. You know, you want your character, for example, Dylan and Dutch, you know, you've got your whole backstory, which is kind of happening now. We're back in your hometown. There's all this kind of thing happening. So, yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah.
I want to listen in because
do.
Aiden's probably made more characters than most because...
yeah, so guys,
maybe we could have a session dealing with character death.
That's what I was thinking. I was thinking the 2 choices were we do one dealing with character death, or we could do player etiquette. I thought that might be a good one as well. So I'll leave it up to you guys to decide, but I want to put a post out tomorrow confirming what we're going to do. But also and I'll think about some sort of potential questions, and then you guys can think of some answers. But it's quite a casual conversation, so you don't need to stress out too much.
As the player who's probably used and tossed away the most characters, I mean, if you consider all of them, like Reggie Wu, that one game in which I played a guy called Zephyr the Artificer. Right before I realized I did not know how to play Artificer, so I just left him in a cave.
Especially in Pathfinder.
Yeah, I was.
Pathfinder was sort of fucking ridiculous.
Very bold to try that.
Weird, yeah. Also, both Aguirres.
Yep.
There have been many Aguirres. All swarthy.
Let's dive straight back in because
we're in.
We pick up after the break. Zook, Richter, and Ruthus standing in the upstairs chamber. The fire is smouldering out. There's water mingling with the ash of the curtains.
Richter noted something. While Richter was dousing the flames, he noticed with some interest. He didn't say anything, but he noticed that the fire from the flames didn't actually seem that oppressive to him. And what's more, the sort of billowing smoke that was rising didn't seem to cause him to lose his breath. Just little observations, but yeah, he doesn't say anything about that. He just gets on with putting out the fire.
Ever since you woke up, you felt a little bit off.
Yeah.
Ooh. Has Wendelin left?
No, he's still standing there surveying the room.
I think he's going to let us out of his sight.
I go over to Richter and say, could you maybe try and get in touch with Celeste? See if she responds.
Should I try and send?
If you can.
Okay.
And before you do, let her know that I'll be casting a spell and she should let me in.
Very well. Okay. Richter sort of puts his fingers to his temples and concentrates on the image of Celeste. It's not too hard. He was there for her birthing, so he's had some pretty impressed images of her in his mind. He thinks hard and conjures up the image of Celeste. Celeste, where are you? Quarters on fire, blood on floor. Zook will try and find you. Permit his spell. Let us know you are all right. That's 25 words to the limit.
You wait. No response. However, you felt the spell take hold. It didn't. Well, it's hard to tell, but you've sent sending spells before where they haven't grasped the purchase that they needed to.
You get a send message failed notification usually.
Whereas this, it was as normal, but there was just no response.
No read receipt.
Without saying anything, knowing that this terrifying bastard just stood right behind me, I just sort of side-eye Zook kind of nervously and give the lightest shake of the head.
I'm going to try, anyway. I'll sit down, maybe by the window, open the open the window, let the fresh air in, and I'm gonna take out some like little seed buds and scatter them around, and start chanting and start casting scrying to try and scry on Celeste as the seed buds slowly sort of lift up and start just slowly floating around me.
Okay, so I need to make a.
Just before I do that, can I have another look in Celeste's room and see if there's anything like in the wardrobe that I recognise her wearing, or anything like her style of clothes?
Roll me another investigation check.
That's a 9.
You're just there's stuff there, but you're unsure what is stuff she's worn or stuff that was here before.
Okay. Okay, I'll go back and I'll do the scrying.
Setting up the ritual, it begins to take hold. You feel yourself unconnected to the ground. You reach for the tendrils and the roots beneath you, but perhaps it's being in a city of such density, or perhaps the spell was unable to find its mark, but you get your vision doesn't transcend like you hoped it would.
I turn tentatively back to Rick to wait until Wendellin's not looking, and then give him the same disconcerted shake of the head. And I'll float up to Rufus and say, I fear the worst. What do you think we should do?
Rufus is still like kneeling down on the ground. His when Zook says that to him, his head drops. I knew it wasn't safe here. I should never have left her on her own. I should have accompanied her the whole time. Who knows where she could be now?
Quieter. I just I sort of like put my hand on Rufus's back, and as though I'm comforting him, and then just very quietly whisper in his ear, say, "We should find the others." Dutch looked like he wasn't himself. There was something wrong. Maybe he knows something.
Rufus looks up at Zook and gives the tiniest of nods.
Wendelin kind of clears his throat. It would appear that your orc friend has managed to slip past my net. Tell me, Gypsies, why might he flee if he is innocent?
Presumably he's going
Rufus
to
stands
request
up.
aid for the fire.
Sorry, Aiden, can you say that again?
Sorry, I was going to say, presumably he fled hearing that there was fire. Perhaps he is going to find the local. Presumably you have brigades here.
He turns towards you, raising an eyebrow. No need to defend his actions. I merely seek the truth.
I offer you no lies. Dutch is my friend and companion. He would not stand here while a fire burned the place down.
Wendelin, Rufus gets to his feet. I honestly don't know what to tell you. Something's happened here. Celeste's been taken. I really do not know why Dutch would have fled the scene, but he would never harm Celeste. She's my family, and Dutch is a close friend. He would never do something like this.
He places a
I know
hand on
Dutch
your shoulder.
is...
You know he is.
He's from here. He's from Xanthar, and he has a nefarious past here, and I can only imagine that the sight of a inquisitor and someone as yourself is enough to scare anyone.
Quite.
All I
believe
know-
you somewhat,
Go ahead.
Luthus. Victor, you know.
All I know is that during the battle for Solreach, when we buried into the very living rubble to save Celeste, Dutch was there, fighting right alongside us, and gave everything he had to protect and safeguard her. That is what I know.
He's not the kind of person that would abide being captured, but not because he's in the wrong. He maybe knows something. He wants to chase down the people that did this. I wonder if he's pursuing them right now.
Wendelin squats down, pulls one of his long fingers forth, and takes a long, kind of like he's dusting a window ledge or something of the blood onto his finger. Interesting indeed. He turns and begins to leave the chamber. I have questions, and I will need them answering. He's walking downstairs.
I presume he wishes for us to follow him.
I don't know. Do we have to? I don't want to. Creeps me out.
Well, with that Inquisitor here, I don't imagine we'll be able to leave the building of our own accord. So perhaps we can take our time.
Where do we start?
What of Dylan? He's never that far from his brother. I haven't seen him here.
We need to find them as soon as possible. See what they know. Can you send a message, locate them, either of you?
I can, if, and I ask first your leave, Zook. Would you permit me to use this again? And I sort of hold out the pearl of restoration.
Oh, the pearl is yours. By all means, use it as you please.
Thank you. Restore. And I feel a slot charge up. So, a message to Dylan, is it?
Aye, I think so.
Okay. I think about beautiful, beautiful Dylan. I capture his gorgeous, gorgeous black eyes in my mind's eye. Dylan, Celeste gone, rooms burned, blood on floor, Dutch fled, Gwendolyn suspicious. Know you anything? Let us know if you and Dutch are safe. Richter.
Where am I at this point?
You're swimming with.
I hear back.
I think it's. Well, it doesn't say, does it? It says
Presumably it's
you
telepathic.
Send a short message, 25 words. It doesn't say it is. They hear it in their mind. It doesn't say you have to. I quite like it that you have to say it out loud, but you can like mutter it, for example.
I think, no, if they hear it in their mind, it's telepathic. So they're not hearing with their ears.
They hear it in their
Yeah,
mind.
but you still have to speak
but
the
you still
words
have to
back.
speak the words. I mean, it doesn't say either way, basically.
Do I sense the Inquisitor nearby?
Not within 50 feet, no.
I guess I'll lose air if I do this. I'm trying to swim underwater. I can't reply. He thinks, fuck, as he's swimming under the water, away, trying to stay close to Dutch as well. Doesn't want to lose him.
Does
He
the
goes to
spell
the
say
surface.
how soon you can reply? Can you reply?
And can answer a like manner immediately, it says.
Oh, okay.
So you imagine probably it will dissipate. So in that case, the sending does not connect. Well, it connects, but there's no response.
I look up at Zook and Rufus, and for the third time tonight, share a concerned shake of the head This is becoming the new knowing nod.
The
Shane.
An anti-nod.
Two figures burst into the room. Practicals. They look towards you and they immediately go to work, start rifling through the place. They're just throwing things about, looking through, inspecting the room. You can see one of them holds a small kind of piece of paper or a piece of parchment that they're scribbling down notes onto.
Can I turn to them and say, can we leave whilst you turn our rooms upside down?
The one with the mask that's writing just kind of turns and stares towards you. You can see his eyes are like bloodshot. Both of their skin is like really, really pale and sort of almost slightly translucent. Like they never ever see the sun very much.
You know, guys, I don't know what it is, but something about the civic infrastructure of this city creeps me the fuck out.
Yeah.
The other one, the kind of sinewy woman with the whip, turns. He's downstairs waiting for you. Looks like you're going to the Tower of Questions, friend.
The Tower... What is that? Do we know what that is?
You're not sure? Dylan and Dutch probably would know. They're not there.
Well, if we don't really have many options, we can't just flee, and we look like we're involved in it somehow. Bad enough 2 of our numbers already do.
If we try and slip away now, it truly will look awful.
You've done
I guess we...
wrong here.
No. I guess we go with him.
You ain't got a choice, friend. You're going to the tower whether you like it or not. You ain't gonna see the light of day. Maybe forever. And she just grins. She has her teeth are kind of like half of them are missing, and the ones that are there are like brown.
Didn't you get busy tidying up?
Sorry, say again.
I'm just being catty. So, don't you have a job to do?
What did you say, Zook?
Does she seem like that's likely that we are actually not going to see the light of day, even though we...
Roll an insight check.
7. No idea.
I'm sure.
The Tower of Joy it is. All right.
Oh.
All right, out of the room, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So you head downstairs, and you can see Gwendolyn standing outside of the ephemeral wing. There are 2 Inquisitors standing in front of him. One of which is like in sort of looks slightly wet down kind of one side of its body. It's kind of dripping slight water to the ground. He lifts a finger up with the blood on, and both of the Inquisitors, like dogs, kind of lean forwards. Their noseless, faceless metal sheets across their head just come close towards it, and you hear one of them, and then whoosh, flies off.
Oh, we're outside. Okay, I thought
they're outside. You're inside. You can see them outside with Gwendolyn.
Okay. I guess best go meet up with Gwendolyn. We got a whole bunch of torture to get through. Let's start now.
I love that you're calling him Gwendolyn. It's hilarious.
It's just Gwendolyn, no G.
Oh, Gwendolyn. Oh, sorry. Too much Dark Souls. Sorry.
Guinevere.
Yeah, that's who I thought.
Gertrude.
All right, fine. We'll go get our fucking bodies pulled apart like taffy.
Sorry, guys.
Get me on the rack.
Yeah, it might make you taller.
Gwendolyn turns, wiping the blood sort of off on a... he would have a cloth. Wipes it off on a cloth that he puts in his pocket. I have some questions for you 3. If you'd like to follow
Yes,
me.
your subordinates seemed quite giddy at the prospect.
Oh, don't mind them. It's just a few formalities, some questions, and you'll be out in no time. I can
Insight.
assure
Do
you.
I believe him?
Insight.
Both roll me insight checks.
23.
Oh, but reroll that. Yes, that's 18.
Zook, he seems like he's being genuine. Richter, it's subtle, but there's almost a little bit of joy in his voice.
Oh,
like you aren't gonna get out of there. You have this horrible fear that going to this spire or this tower of questions, you likely may never come out.
Meanwhile, Rufus is like, very well, take us to this tower. I have no fear of questions.
Good. He begins walking off.
Thank God the guy who can't tell any lies doesn't actually know anything in this situation. Thank God.
Great. It's actually great.
Yeah, you begin walking off. There's one Inquisitor that's following you. You begin following him.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You make your way through the Andriont. You're traveling through the Andriont, so why doesn't someone roll me a d12, please?
Woo! It's an 8.
It's an 8. Let me double check what that is on the old thingy thing.
You're attacked by dire wolves.
The right testicle combusts.
Oh.
The tension is killing me.
Sorry.
Someone is juggling hedgehogs.
Oh, sorry. It's not a d12. It's a. Oh no, it is a d12. No, it's a d8. It's a d8.
A 1.
You've used up some of them. Ah, interesting. You pass by the Cinnamon Inn, and you can see outside of the Cinnamon Inn there's what look to be a load of noble officers. They're kind of young. Maybe they're like sons of higher up people in the kind of echelon society, and they're all drinking and they're all drunk. And as you kind of walk past, one of them stumbles into your group and spills his entire beer across Wendelin. This is gonna happen to you while you didn't have him with him, but this is perfect. He spills like his pint across Wendelin, and the youthful kind of military boy looks up, kind of like laughing. Oh, I'm terribly sorry there. And he begins sort of patting down his chest, and then he looks up, and his face, the blood just drains from his face as Wendelin just looks down towards him.
Can I quickly react and press the Wendelin's clothes clean again?
Yes. Roll me a quick sleight of hand.
Okay. Okay, it's gonna be -2. Oh, 6. Rolled as a 16.
-2.
18 down to 6.
Oh, 18
no,
down
18
to
down to
16.
16.
Well, okay, you actually. Wendelin goes to grab your wrist, but you kind of quickly nip and go. And manage to.
Oh, Wendelin, let me
his
take
shirt.
care of that. This poor boy. He
You can
wasn't
see
looking where he was
another
going.
vein beginning to pop in his forehead as the group of officers that are kind of sitting out on a table outside are all just like and like 2 of them are just kind of backing off back into the tavern. The one that spilt the beer gets on his knees and just begins groveling at Wendelin's feet. Please, I'm so sorry, Master High Inquisitor. I can't. Don't send me to the tower, please. There, boy. Get up. And the boy sort of gets up. He looks off, and you see him catch sight with another practical standing off in one of the nearby sort of not in the shrubbery, but sort of near some shrubbery. He gestures. He kind of nods towards them.
Comes out of a hedge.
The boy's like, no, please, you can't. Well, I'm heading that way anyway. And the practical comes forwards and just kind of begins grabbing him and binding him. The onlookers from the Cinnamon Inn are just like watching.
I thought the tower was for telling truths. What are you going to do with him there?
Oh, well, teach him a lesson, of course. Surely my brother has spoken of what the tower is.
I am a foreigner to these lands. I know nothing of this.
Insolence
Didn't
will not
mention
be
it.
tolerated within the Empire. This young man knows as such, do you not? And he's like, being like bound.
But surely we cannot blame on malice what can easily be blamed on foolishness. Can I persuade that?
No. He simply kind of smirks.
He enjoys his work. Okay.
Thank you, Practical Kreth. And Kreth tosses this youth over his shoulder and begins making off in a different direction.
I apologize.
One's work is never done. He begins heading off again. You make your way sort of past where the university was, towards, it would be the northeast side of the Andriont. And you can see there, slightly lower down than the rest of the Andriont, a section where there's a tower, perhaps mistook as part of the university previously. The tower is a brilliant sort of white marble, similar to that of a lot of the other architecture, but it's kind of twisted as it reaches a very sharp point. This spire that kind of comes up. There's like a section of it, almost like someone's punched the middle of a Jenga tower, and it's kind of all moved to one side, but it's stationary as it kind of balances and tilts back the other way. You swear as you look at it, you see it kind of just wobble a bit in the wind.
Spooky.
I'm gonna lean over to Richter and say, "Wait, he's gonna take that young man just for spilling beer on him to teach him a lesson. What's he gonna do to us?"
When he said that we would be leaving in no time, I detected a deception in his tone. I think that this beast in the guise of a man rather enjoys his work. I don't know what will befall us in this place, Zook, but I believe we will have the strength to endure it.
Well, listen. Can I make sure that Wendelin is out of earshot? I'm speaking very quietly.
There is an Inquisitor behind, so it's Wendelin at the front, you, and then an Inquisitor behind.
Okay, I just look at Richter and say, well, I pray to the winds that we get out of this okay.
Wait a minute. Do you speak any primordial, Zook?
A little bit of Ignan that you've taught me.
You've been teaching him.
Yeah, we could try and talk in Ignan.
We could.
Rudimentary speak.
Yeah, maybe in Ignan I'll just say, we still have the skies. The spell endures.
Really?
In kind of broken Ignan, it's a bit disjointed. The grammar's not quite right. Zook hasn't mastered this yet.
Good to know, but treacherous. Immediate guilt.
Aye. No,
but that just comes out as like
stepping forward, you can see that
sounds like a hot air balloon.
Yeah.
The Spire of Questions is surrounded as you kind of descend some steps down one side. It's on the edge of the Andriont, so beyond is like just a drop to the water, and it's kind of in a walled, kind of spherical garden. All around the base is luscious-looking trees that have kind of been planted here. It looks quite inviting almost. Yet there's this ominous spire kind of erupting from the center of it. There are some gates that open, and you begin making your way through, heading towards down some steps between these trees. The trees kind of arc over and join at the top. They're kind of like large beech trees that sort of just line the pathway. You can see some practicals kind of milling about, tending to the garden. You know, some with like shears, kind of tending to it. You see one individual wearing kind of a kind of straight jacket, sitting and just rocking on one of the benches that line the kind of garden area. It looks to be pretty well guarded. Even on the walls there, you can see there are some practicals. The doors to the spire itself are wrought iron sort of portcullis, which is currently down. And as you approach, without even saying a word, you see some practicals begin to kind of like slowly lift it up. As it beyond, inside is just a darkly lit interior. You don't even see any light within.
Are we doing this?
Feels lots on the walls.
I think maybe we should just tell him what we know. We're not guilty. There's no reason for him to keep us. We could even help him to find out who did this.
I am hoping that our safeguarding of Celeste and the child will at least earn us some positive reputation, but I will admit I am very nervous.
Oh.
We still have friends.
Aye. Well, Rufus, you're going to have to tell the truth anyway, so we've got no option.
Rufus is just like marching ahead, keeping pace with Wendelin. His like head is held high, and he's just like, I've got nothing to hide. I'm ready to tell you the truth.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And sort of like trying to like ask Wendelin questions like along the way, being like, Wendelin, like, I really want to know what you think about this. Who could be behind this?
Well, we'll soon find out, Rufus. We'll soon find out.
You begin heading into the under the portcullis, into the entrance of the tower. Meanwhile, we will cut to the brothers. Having swum long enough until your breath is hot inside, your chest is feeling like it would burst, you both break the surface and find yourself having been swept down river through one of the canals quite a large way. From where you are, you can see up towards the kind of brightly lit Andriance far above. Dutch, you appear alone. Your invisibility would still be up at this point.
Am I able to place a hand on Dutch as I kick water and drift with the current?
Yeah, you catch up with him. You feel something grab your shoulder that you don't see.
My reaction to try and grapple whatever that is.
Sure.
Dutch, please. It's me. It's your brother.
Where are we? Where are we?
I don't know. You tell me. This is fresher in your memory than mine. I beg to differ.
I mean, Tashi, where are we?
You are.
Nom, 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 nom.
You are sort of.
Are we anywhere near the docks?
No, you're in between. You're sort of in between the 7th and 8th ward,
Level of hell.
which is the commons, the merchant and the commons.
How far from the docks are we then?
The commons, the 8th ward, is borders on the south, the west docks, which is your ward, or where the docks are.
We're going to stay in the water until we get there, because this isn't our first time using the fucking river to get home, is it? So we use the river. When it starts to fucking get to the mouth and open up, grab onto one of the pulled up boats, sneak up onto it, fuck off onto the docks, into the pub, have a fucking pint. Yes.
Wait for this whole thing to blow over.
It's quite a ways. I'm going to get you both to roll me athletics checks to keep afloat for that amount.
Easy.
Like half an hour of being in the water, basically.
Rooney.
That's fine. Do that on holiday on the regs. Let's go. Boom! 18.
17.
Nice. Yeah, after about half an hour, you begin eventually making your way towards what you recognize as the Gilded Way cuts its way south down from it'd be south from the Empire, down from the Andriont, and the estuary kind of twins and breaks at this point, and one heads off under the Gilded Way towards the west docks. You swim in that direction. Eventually you pull yourself out, having escaped and made your way to the 9th ward.
How long did that take, just for reference?
About half an hour.
Okay.
So I'll have to cut back to the others.
Yeah.
Just in case. I need to keep it kind of running side by side in case sending and stuff happens. You enter the Spire of Questions. Wendelin looks about as kind of practicals come and kind of greet him, whispering things in his ear, and he kind of shoos them away. I will oversee these personally. So, you three, follow me. I shall make you comfortable while I ask you these questions. And you can see it's incredibly dimly lit. There's just like a few sconces with coals kind of down right to the bare minimum.
Is the young officer being brought with us, or is he like being taken off elsewhere?
You didn't see him past him being taken off by the practical when he was tied up.
Oh, they just shanked him in an alley. All right. Okay.
You can hear from down here in the base, you can hear a kind of like a moaning of different voices from various cells.
Oh, goody.
What questions could those possibly be answers to, Wendelin?
Do you say that out loud?
I do.
Oh, all manner of things. It's quite remarkable, really, what people will not speak for. I mean, how far someone will go to not tell you what you need. But everybody has a breaking point.
But surely you have magical means to extract truth. Surely this is a city of marvels. Potions, spells, incantations. The truth can be unlocked in these ways. Is this kind of skullduggery really essential?
I think of it more as the traditional arts, Victor. You see, magics that can detect things such as lying seem to not be... People aren't quite as forthcoming. There are ways around such things. There are other spells that can be placed and enchanted upon that person. There are equally ways that someone may just avoid the question altogether. There is no avoiding your nail once it has been removed from one's finger, nor is there any replacement for said eye from a socket.
suppose it could be said that in some way you are a seeker of knowledges. I feel that is strangely familiar to me.
One could argue that I am in a regard. He looks towards you, Zook, and kind of eyes your stumps for ears. Follow me, gentlemen, and he begins descending down some steps.
We've not been disarmed yet, have we?
No.
Okay. Well, I mean, I'm not planning on doing a thing, but that seems notable. Okay.
You follow Wendelin down a flight of stairs, and then a second, and a third.
As we're doing all these descents, sorry to interrupt, but is it mostly practicals dotted about, or are we seeing inquisitors as well?
No, you haven't seen an inquisitor at all.
Okay, that's good to know.
It's just seems to be practicals at the moment. After the third set of stairs leading down, it becomes cold, very cold down here. Like kind of, you know, standing out in the Varamark on a colder day. It is remarkably chilly. And you begin heading down. At the bottom, you can see it's like a central circular chamber at the bottom with 8 different corridors leading off from that point. You take one of these on the right and begin heading down.
Can I try and remember the corridor that we had in relation to where the stairs end and try and make a note of the angle of the corridor?
Okay, sure.
So we can figure out which one we came through.
You get to the end of the corridor, and he pushes open what looks to be a large iron metal door, and steps inside. You can see he goes in and begins lighting a candle. He flicks his finger, and the candles in the room light up. Inside,
well, this
you can
is
see
quaint.
It's like what looks to be a small study. There's a desk. There's a chair, there's a bed up to one side. You must excuse the quarters at the moment. A lot of the other residents are being taken. A lot of occupants these days.
Unrest
This is,
in the city? Sorry,
Not so much unrest, just the normal. Just more of it. Maybe we're getting better.
Interesting view of things. Well, what do you want to ask us? What do you need to know?
Your friend, Dutch. I sensed his fear. He knew something, and I believe that one of you knows more than you're letting on. I have questions to ask, but it is quite late. The iron door slams shut. You must forgive the practicals. It can be a little dangerous in here, for our safety, you understand.
Looking around the room, is there anything that looks dangerous to us?
Make a perception check.
Well, there's this fucking guy, right? He seems pretty dangerous.
But like implements. So I got a natural 20, so that becomes a 35.
Wow. Looking around the room with your high perception, it looks like a cell that some menial things have been placed into. They look to be used, but you can see in the kind of cobblestone floor, or the large stone kind of flagstone floor, there's old viscera in between. You can see maybe a fingernail or some dried dung matter of some kind, just in the cracks of the room. You also, what you would notice, etched in along the kind of ceiling around the very edge, with that roll, you see the faintest of what look to be glyphs.
Gotcha. What is this place?
These are your quarters, Gwendolyn, I'm assuming? This is your office.
No, this is not my office.
No, this is a holding cell before I need to ask questions. I'll probably be back in a few days. I suggest maybe get comfortable and...
No. What? You're going to leave us to rot for 2 days when we haven't done anything? You ask the questions now.
Roll an intimidation check, Zook.
14.
He smiles and says, I'm a busy man and I need to find out more information and to find your missing comrades as well. You see, the Empire must have its questions answered, and I am the man to do so.
I'm not sure if that's entirely right, Gwendolyn. If this is concerning Celeste, then...
My name is Gwendolyn.
Oh yeah, shit, it is.
Hear him out, Gwenny. Come on.
I mean, Gwendolyn. I'm not sure this is entirely right, Gwendolyn. If this is concerning Celeste, then I think we're your best hope at answering these questions. And if you keep us locked up here, this is not the way. We can help you. Please, this is madness. You want questions answered, then we'll do so.
Very well. Answer me this. Why was the blood of the Cardinal of the Lunar Gate on the floor of your chambers?
What?
What?
So that wasn't Celeste's blood? But she may still live. That was the Cardinals?
He smiles and says, we'll have to do better than that next time.
And he, boop, vanishes.
In Ignan, I want to say to Zook, while sort of like nodding slightly upwards at those glyphs, surveillance, magic dampening. Any ideas?
Can I look at the glyphs? Do I recognize what they might be?
We're going to flick over to the other two.
Mm-hmm.
Very interesting. So,
this is a cool situation.
Dylan and Dutch, you find yourselves at the docks, the West Docks. What do you do?
Yeah.
What the fuck do we do now?
Whoa.
Who was that with them?
What?
I only saw Inquisitors. Well, the one that was following you. And there was
some other guy with them. He's in charge of them. He's that, like, he's...
Do I know who might be in charge of the Inquisitors?
Roll me just a straight intelligence check.
Okay. 5?
No.
Look,
What do we do?
one of those things has at least my scent now. So anywhere I go, I'm endangering who I'm with.
We need to find somewhere safe.
There's nowhere safe.
Well, we need someone to help us.
No one will help us. When you get the scent, when Inquisitor gets your scent, that's it. Like, you're excommunicado from everyone. No one wants you.
Do I know that's the case?
That has been the case in the past, yeah.
And would it have gotten Dutch's scent by being that close?
You're unsure how they work, but if it has his blood or his hair or has like gashed him, you can imagine yes.
But
you don't know how they work.
Right. Dutch, we don't know for certain how they work. And we can't give up. We can't give up. We don't know what's happened to the others. We have to do something.
I look like
we must still have allies in this city, or people that we can at least bargain with. I hate to say it, but we might be going back to Randala. Might be our only choice. At least they'll have information on how the Inquisitors work. Perhaps it's not the case. They might know what you look like, but they might not have your scent. It might be harder for them to find you. We must move now. We must move quickly.
Yeah. The worst you'll do is turn us away. Or kill us. Or torture us, then kill us. Or hand us over. But yeah, fuck it. Let's go.
And that's what the Inquisitors will do if they catch us.
Yep.
Lead the way.
I take us home, I guess.
So, your home, at least the last time you were here, was within the sewer system in this ward. You head to, maybe there's like a grate, something to kind of climb down through. Prizing open the kind of heavy kind of disc that covers this manhole, you climb down into it, pulling it down behind you. You descend into the sewer system. It's been a while since you've been here. I'd like you to roll me an investigation check to kind of helm your
we both roll?
You can give him advantage, or you can roll.
What? Do you want me to roll?
Yeah.
Okay.
Preferably.
20, unnatural 20.
Like riding a bike, you recognize these passages. You get to the point where you get kind of flashing imagery of being in these sewers, running through these dank, smelly waters with Dutch, avoiding the tides as they kind of come in and flood certain tunnels, popping up near the bakers that you used to often visit, stealing a couple of sweet rolls. You catch sight of a few sort of clawed engravings etched into the wall. Thieves' cant that you recognize. Little symbols, a small circle, a tail, an ear, whiskers and a tooth. And eventually you reach a central tunnel, at the end of which, lit by a kind of low sconce, or perhaps a torch, you see the familiar wooden door with the metal bars across it.
What now? Do we knock?
Yeah.
With your passive perception, Dylan, you sense movement and breathing of someone just standing off in the shadows to one side. There's often a few little kind of alcoves.
Yeah.
you sense someone standing to the right.
How long has it been, roughly?
I'll say now it's maybe been 50 minutes.
Okay. Wait, Dutch. I'll whisper to him. Someone behind the... Which is it, to the left or the right?
To the right.
Okay, I relay that to him.
I nod knowingly at the person in the shadows. Hello?
A figure steps forwards, embers from a pipe lighting their face. Although it's hard to see from this far off. You only sense them, Dylan, and Dutch, it's hard for you to kind of see in this gloom. You hear a voice call out. What are two young whippersnappers doing in these here sewers?
Does he know I'm there? I'm invisible.
Are you still invisible? Oh, of course. I thought, sorry.
Yeah.
I thought you turned back when you saw Dutch. In that case.
No, I've just been tailing him, yeah.
What's a lone whippersnapper doing in these tunnels?
Lone whippersnappers coming home.
Well, it's certainly been a while. Dutch? You recognize the voice as Numbers, if you remember.
Yeah!
Numbers was the priest. He steps forward sort of into maybe one of the shafts of light that's coming down, and you see a kind of scruff of a chin strap beard, a fine and handsome manly nose, wearing what doesn't look very out of place clothing, a fine doublet, leathers, a dagger at his side, a small coin purse, spectacles, half moon ones pushed up. He's receded quite a bit since perhaps you last saw him. But Numbers, the priest, stands before you. He kind of smiles towards you. You definitely shouldn't have fucking come back here.
Yeah, well, something's happened, and I need help.
Roll a persuasion check.
Oh shit! The digital dice is letting me down.
Always does.
Persuasion? I got an 8.
I'm not going to turn you away, of course, but it's not up to me. I'm going to have to tell her you're here. I'm sure you understand.
That's fair.
But I wouldn't expect any different.
Yeah, he kind of like...
But it's good to see your face, Numbers. But mine might have changed quite a bit since you see me last. And I'll drop invisibility at that point.
And you're in your lycanthrope form as well.
Yeah.
He kind of gasped a little. My, you two have really... Well, you haven't aged well. Yeah, and he taps the door 3 times, and a little slot opens up. You don't see anyone, but you hear kind of muttering. He turns and mutters towards them. You faintly hear a... You fucking serious? From the other side of the door. Serious. Go and fetch her. The lady of the house. And you hear this. You wait a couple minutes. Numbers sort of stands there awkwardly, smiling towards you. She might have your head, you know. She was... I haven't quite seen Fury the same.
Should be foolish to try and take our heads now.
Ooh. Well, this is
But-
more interesting than I thought.
We come here peacefully, and perhaps there's things we can offer her.
The slot opens once more and he leans in. Very well. You've been granted an audience.
Yeah. Here we go.
Well, normal procedure. You're not one of us, remember? Weapons, anything dangerous, you get it when you leave.
Yep.
Okay.
Surely you won't take my gloves off. My hands get cold. You remember that?
Roll me a deception check.
You
Just call his attention to the gloves.
Oh, shit. What was that? A deception?
Mm-hmm.
16.
I mean, it might be that Dutch has bad circulation, and it's the truth.
He eyes you and says, no. Gloves as
Right.
well.
Then when I get arthritis, I'm blaming you.
I hand over my arrows and my dagger.
And your bow.
No.
I've handed over my arrows and my dagger. I can't do anything with a bow.
he wants the bow.
Fine, I give him the bow.
Do you know what? If he's going to be like this, I'm going to give him everything that's fucking dangerous. Here's my grappling hook. I can beat you over the fucking head with it or stab you with a spiky bit. Here's a length of chain for hitting people. Here's a bucket. Here's a fucking pen.
Have you got the bag of holding?
What?
You've got the bag of holding, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pass it over to. Don't know what's in it.
No, you don't.
Hand it over, Dutch. We'll be fine.
Go on then.
Is it the bag of holding or withholding?
Withholding, yeah.
Oh boy. I hope he reaches
Is
in.
there anything that you are not telling them about? That you want to conceal?
There's no point. I mean, presumably the empty quiver is fine.
It's just an empty quiver.
Fine, yeah.
Yeah, they don't want to take. He doesn't ask you about that.
Can I keep the 3 roofing nails that I keep in my underpants, please?
You always keep roofing nails
What?
in your underwear.
3 roofing nails in.
Roll me just a straight d20. This is to see if they. This is luck to see if they fell out during any of your escapades.
How
Let's
do you
see.
do 8 hours of walking with
50.
roofing nails in your pants?
There's 2 in there. You can keep them in there.
They turned
Oh,
rusty
no.
in the river, and now you have
Oh.
tetanus.
No, what's my computer doing? What the fuck is this?
Oh no!
Oh,
God.
No. You look fine to us, Mike.
Okay,
Yeah.
everyone's paused on my whole screen, and there's oh Lord of mercy.
One
We are back at 160p, gentlemen.
right. Anyway,
I can see
he passes the weaponry and items across into the door, closes again. You wait another minute or so, and then it opens up, and you see another figure. You see a brutish-looking man. No hair on his head. His ears are both cauliflowered in different ways. Nose broke, missing a few teeth. He's got scars or burns, like acid burns potentially, on his face, where his beard only grows in sort of patches. You recognise this as Ganon. Ganon's the sort of bruiser, the thug.
Ganondorf.
He looks towards you and says, "Well, I ain't fucking believe my eyes. If it ain't the Grey Twins."
And if you haven't gotten fucking uglier.
Good one. Well, you ready? She's in a foul mood today, boys.
Good, maybe we can cheer her up.
Right. He turns around. You see you're in the familiar central chamber. It's dimly lit. You hear the dripping of of various water hitting pools kind of echoing around. There's that light that kind of reflects up on the stonework, the kind of water light flickering across water. There's various different ratways that lead off from this central chamber where there's the main pool. But you head towards the familiar corridor and doorway to your old boss Randala's quarters. Numbers stays at the door. He quickly catches Dutch. He catches your shoulder before you leave and says, "Nah, forget it." He turns back round again. You head towards Randala's quarters, and Gannon knocks a couple of times on the door. "Come in." The door opens up. You find yourself in the familiar lounge room. No windows, just stone walls with various luxurious different rugs and velvets and things about this room. A large writing desk set up right there to greet people. And sitting facing away from you in a chair, you see Randala Aguirre. She turns around, standing, placing both hands, kind of leaning forwards on the desk. "Well, from what I hear, you've really fucked things up here, haven't you, boys?" As she smiles towards you.
Well, it's not all entirely our fault, if you're honest, my lady.
And we're going to end the session there.
Whoa.
That's a good place to leave it. Things have transpired. Holy shit.
Oh, everyone's got a lot of questions to answer. Oh boy.
That's right.
The tower is the place to do it.
You're down in various dank rooms under the city.
We started off so well.
Off the city, aren't they?
They went down.
I mean, we've gone subterranean, I think.
Mm-hmm.
We're in the next room, probably.
Deep.
Yeah, maybe we can just tunnel through. I just
Turn
pass
into an
all
underhawk
through.
and just get the fuck out.
That's the plan. No, I
think
can't.
those glyphs are going to give us some trouble in that regard.
I've got a plan to deal with those glyphs. Don't worry.
Oh, good. You're going to punch them.
Yep.
Last time you did that, you gained a god, so I mean that could actually work out pretty well for us.
Thanks for watching, everyone. We'll pick this, whatever's going to happen next. We'll pick it up next week. Hopefully we'll be back on next Thursday, like we normally are. For anyone wanting more content, we have something on Thursday. We're doing another stream, if you haven't heard already. Theo's hosting the roundtable chat with Aidan and Josh.
Big up.
A nice whiskey fireside vibe for all of you. Good.
Yeah, absolutely.
banter.
I think want everyone's backdrop to be like a nice crackling fire.
I will see if that is something I can pull off of that. one.
No, my computer can't do that because it's so shit.
Josh, your background currently is like how I imagine the Varamark landscape.
Yeah.
It's like that kind of snowy.
Yorkshire in winter.
Yorkshire in winter.
Yep.
So yeah, join
Put
us
kettle
on Thursday
Shankar
if you're about. They might be discussing player death. They might be discussing player etiquette. Either way, they're both very, very interesting topics. And you'll be diving. Diving.
When
into
Tashi gets so annoyed at us that he drives a pencil into Mike's ear and kills him.
sorry, character deaths, not player deaths.
And you know what? Player death doesn't have it doesn't have to be tragic. It can be quite heroic. I got plenty to say on that shit.
Oh, do we have a word from our sponsor, Aidan?
Oh.
Well, you see, here we are down in this tower of power of questions, and my God, God, if only we had some incredible magical items to save us. Oh, James Gifford's incredible magical items, please come and save us from this terrible, terrible Assad questioning bunker.
James Gifford, we need help.
James,
Send us your items.
James cannot join your games just to save you from disasters. However, he can provide your DM with
the implements of torture to question thee.
Yes, the assorted magical item deck that James Gifford has made, a good friend of ours. The assorted magical item deck contains 60 item reference cards that are compatible.
How many?
5th edition. 60, Josh.
60. That's 10 more than 50.
OMG, that is crazy.
That's higher than I can count.
Whether you're stuck underneath a spire of questions with the head of the Inquisition of a metropolis bearing down on you, or you're simply returning home to your criminal organised underworld, James Gifford's got you covered with his assorted
magical items. You could have a new
Twisted
magical
good,
item
James.
every session in a weekly game for a whole year, and you'd still have more at the end. Oh.
Thank you all for watching. Until next time, we are the Journeyman Questers, and good luck, Gypsies of Fortune. Good luck.
Godspeed.
Bye.
Bye-bye. 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 Bye-bye.